I'm here with West East Yoga, or We Yoga, as we like to call it. And Jolene is going to lead me through a short sequence.
Yeah, I'm going to lead Casey through a sequence. I've mentioned before, people ask me, do you do yoga every day? And realistically, I do.
365.
It just may not always be that 1 hour, 90-minute yoga class in just one particular part of the day. What I'm going to show today is just kind of the things that I suggest for people to do after they wake up in the morning, or maybe even before they go to bed. It's more just strengthening and engaging the body. It's not too stimulating. Sometimes if you get too much of a stimulating practice before bed, you can't go to bed because it's too energizing. So this is just something that's pretty gentle. It kind of covers everything from the feet all the way up.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And you can join in if you want, but this is really more of a watch and learn kind of video, so you can take some notes, you can pause it, try stuff on your own. But if you're looking for longer tutorial videos, we'll be posting those soon, and we're looking for your feedback for ideas on what you're looking for in those classes.
Yeah, and I'll have Casey start in a mountain pose at the top of her mat. And we did do a tutorial on mountain pose about the energetics of mountain pose and why it's important.
We'll put that link.
Yeah, we'll make sure that you also get to see that one too if you can't find it on the list. But so Casey's going to start in mountain pose. Something that's pretty easy to do once you roll out of bed. You just take time to set the foundation, starting to engage the ankles and the legs. And once you kind of close the eyes, you get drawn in. You notice the dark space that you see when you close the eyes, or you just notice the space. It doesn't have to be a dark space. We notice the breath. We see if we can breathe through the nostrils. We inhale, exhale through the nose. And that's just a good indicator to see if you can breathe through both of the nostrils. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Some of the poses that we do help alleviate sinus pressure, so that's what we're just checking out just to see. Then once you can, notice if you can breathe through the nose. Maybe you just take an inhale through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Just releasing any tension, any kind of clutter of the mind with a few rounds of breath. And then when you're ready to move, you can inhale, sweep the arms wide enough, look up. And then exhale, relax the hands back down to the sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Let's just inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, hands down to the sides. Just getting an idea of the shoulders and the neck. One more time. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, relax. And then this time, let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And let's take a moment in your first forward fold of the day, or maybe it's the second or third forward fold, depending if this is before bed or after you wake up. I always like people to spend some time in the forward fold just to find some gentle movements in the body. When we find these gentle movements in the body, it allows us to kind of create space to listen to what's saying. Here, she's probably thinking, oh, my hamstrings might be a little tight. In the forward fold, as you bend the knees, you can also maybe start to alleviate some tightness in the low back. As she's bending the knees, she's probably feeling some awakening of the calves and here down in the lower part of the ankle. In the first few minutes, just kind of feel any move that feels good. With the head nods, it's great to alleviate some maybe tension in the neck. Grabbing the elbows like she just did before just kind of helps feel a little bit more secure. You're kind of letting the weight fall down to the floor. And it's up to you with this one. Sometimes I like to feel my shoulders sink down in my ears. You can also kind of find a little shoulder shrug, creating space in the neck. So it's all kind of just a little head nod. You might even do a little sway to the left, to the right. You can do this with grabbing the elbows or letting the hands be down on the floor. The legs don't have to be straight. Some people might give me a frown saying that, but the knees can bend. You can also take a block. I always practice with blocks, even for as long as I practice yoga. I like to have the security of the block. Some days my fingertips don't touch the floor. And some days I can just plant my palms right down on the floor. Every day that I practice is completely different. But the practice is just knowing what is going on with my body for that day. If you haven't already done it, I still like to play with the feet, seeing if I can lift the heels, lift the toes. You can do this with the head below the heart or a head above the heart, whichever one feels a little bit more comfortable, and maybe just scoot a little bit more back towards me. There you go, and then you can shift the block back. And so we got a good idea what's going on with the ankles, the feet. If you have healthy feet, you have generally probably healthy ankles, healthy knees, healthy hips, generally, so to speak. And then we'll start to engage the spine a little bit more. You can take your hands towards the tops of your thighs and inhale, halfway lift, look forward, strong back, and then exhale, forward fold. Do that 2 more times on your own with the breath. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. So we're starting to engage the spine and maybe finding a little bit more straightening of the legs. And then when you're ready, you can inhale, sweep the arms wide and up, and then exhale, hands to sides. Close the eyes. Again, notice that space. When we close the eyes, we draw in and we look forward into that space that we see. This helps kind of connect to our intuitive mind. It kind of connects, it lets us listen and pay attention to all these things that are going on in the body. And then we feel the breath. Inhale, exhale. And then again, we'll inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, strong back. Exhale, forward fold. Relax the neck. And then when you're ready to engage, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sweep the arms wide and up. And then exhale, mountain pose, close the eyes. And then we'll add on a little bit more. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And as you walk the feet back for your first downward facing dog, you want to continue to find that movement. The same thing that we did in the forward fold. We take time to play with the legs. Here, downward dog is not about the legs, it's about the spine. But we do want to, if your hips, if your hamstrings and your calves are really speaking to you, then you're not going to be able to take the time to get the full inversion in down dog. So you really want to take the time to just make sure that all of this feels good and open. The legs don't have to be straight for whenever I see people in down dog. I would rather have people with bent knees than not being able to feel this full long spine. So a couple of rounds of breath in your down dog, 3 to 5 rounds of breath, and then we'll set the knees down and towards your tabletop pose. Tabletop pose is phenomenal for spinal movement. It's really important as you start to move through your cat-cow pose just to feel what's going on in the spine. So you can go ahead and start moving through your cow and cat poses and just connect the pose. One pose with the inhale, one pose with the exhale. That's the most important part. Just making sure you're not holding the breath. And we just want to see what's going on along the spine, from the base of the tailbone all the way up to the base of the neck. At least 5 to 10 rounds. And then go ahead and inhale, puff into your cat pose, hold, and then sit towards your heels. So when you find your cat pose again, we'll just arch the spine, cat pose, big breath in, and then see if you can sit towards your heels. There you go. And then slowly come back up to your tabletop pose, find your cow pose, lift the chest away from the navel, and then again sit back towards your heels. Good job. And then back to tabletop pose, take a big breath in, and then exhale, downward facing dog. One time, inhale, roll forward to your plank pose. And then exhale back to down dog. Bend your knees a little bit more. And think about resting your belly on your thighs. And then look towards your thumbs. And again, just bend the knees a little bit more. I'm going to push the hips back, relax the head. And that's what downward dog is more about, is finding this length of the spine. Let me breathe. And then we can slowly come back down. If downward dog is too much, you can always do what I call, so there's different variations of it. For me, the puppy pose is coming down onto the forearms first, and then looking back towards your knees. So we get the same kind of thing with the head below the heart, and then if it feels good in the hands, then you can extend the arms out like you're in your down dog. And you can kind of still get the opening of the shoulder, the head is below the heart, you have this length of the spine, and we breathe. Does that feel similar but more,
It's more gentle.
more gentle, that's the word I'm looking for. Good job. And from here, that's pretty much what I spend my mornings or my afternoons working on before I start getting into my peak poses that you kind of see on Instagram and
The fancy
the
stuff.
fancy stuff. So
This is the foundation.
yeah, that's the foundation. It's what I always do before I do the more advanced poses. And then after I spend some time in the advanced poses, then I go back to the foundation of cat-cow poses, a few downward dogs, the flow, and really connecting with the breath. Connecting with the breath just gets me into my mind, which helps me connect with my body. We build this intuitive mind of kind of what poses come next, and that comes with practice, I think, but
Just gotta get on the mat.
you just have to get on the mat and listen. Like if your shoulder or your neck is speaking, then what really poses come into that. But really the ones that we just went through kind of cover a lot of it. So
Yeah, so and after that kind of practice, we won't show it in this video, but generally get in the habit of maybe doing some kind of relaxation once every day. If you can do it along with your asana practice, your yoga postures, that's great. If you don't have time and you're just doing a flow to get going in the morning, do the rest pose at the end of the day. And a rest pose is simply lay flat on your back on the floor, 5 to 10 minutes, or count 30 deep breaths. Something to help you unwind, release, relax, and help your cells replenish. It's very healing, and we take for granted the restorative needs of our bodies. So please don't do that, and be a well-rounded yogi.
right, and that's what the poses really all are about. Where the poses are meant to create a time where you can lay on your mat or sit in a meditation to completely kind of check out into this mindful state. The poses just for me kind of make it fun and make me not have like the itty-jibbies, I guess, whenever you lay down. It's like, oh, I practiced, I'm gonna meditate.
Yeah, and sitting like this becomes easier, and you can actually sit in your meditative posture without a lot of lower back pain, hip problems, and fidgetiness.
Yeah.
So Please keep working on it. Get to your mat every day. Thanks for watching. And as always, please leave us your comments. If you have requests for videos, we will honor them. We are kind of new at the video making, so we want to make sure we're doing things that you need, want, and look forward to. Thanks so much. Namaste.
Namaste.